You ever try to show empathy to somebody just a little bit, only to have it blow up in your face like you handed a toddler a grenade? Well, that was me this week with Alyssa Mercante, everybody's favorite former Kotaku senior editor. And let me just say, never again. If you're following the Smash JT lawsuit that she filed and still think that she's the calm, rational party, buckle up because you need to hear this. So here's what happened. I made a response to a tweet that somebody was posting saying that Smash JT doxed Alyssa Mercante through her Kiwi Farms page, and I said that page didn't appear to have her dox anymore. Simple correction, no malice. But then out of nowhere, like clockwork, she unblocks me again just to DM me. And in these DMs, she asked me to take the tweet down, and I did. Not because I agreed with her. Let's get that clear. Not because I was scared. Let's get that double clear. I took it down because she asked politely, and it involved her parents. And I thought, okay, let me be a decent human being. Let me show a little empathy here. Big mistake. Here's the DM that she sent me last night saying, this is a line. It linked to my tweet, which is now deleted. She said that she is trying not to draw a ton of attention to it, as it still has the docs of her parents and others on there literally right now. Please do not bring more attention to that. Delete the tweet. And I was like, you know what? I guess it was late night. I felt a little bit of empathy. I felt sad for her. I was like, yeah, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and just take it down. Maybe just in this instance, we could just have a middle ground. I'll delete it. She asked nicely, we move off, right? But this is where I make the mistake of thinking that somebody like her could think logically. Somebody like her could act like an adult. So check my response out, which I think was pretty professional on my behalf. And I didn't even have to give her that. So my response down here says, if I got something wrong, it wasn't on purpose. It doesn't mean I lied. I saw a note about a third-party removal and based my comment on that. I don't support doxing at all. I'll delete the tweet because you asked politely and it involves your parents. That doesn't mean I admit to doing anything wrong. I hope you also asked the Wargaming guy and McDizzle, who also brought attention to it. Which, funny enough, both of those individuals actually made tweets directing attention and traffic towards that Kiwi Farms page. I mean, how does that work out? Oh, it's because I'm not going against Smash. This is about managing optics with her, guys. That's exactly what it is. So I said, that said, going forward, what I choose to post is my choice respectfully, because I'm not going to have Alyssa Mercante demanding that I delete stuff, that she could control me. She does not have leverage in this. This was a moment of empathy because she brought her family into it, and I bent the knee, mistakefully. I regret it. I never will do it again. She responds in the most classy, most professional way, saying, oh, get off your high horse, Eric. I asked because my parents and boyfriend are doxxed. You semi-sentient blob fish. Eat shit. This isn't a game. It's people's fucking lives. I deleted it because you asked politely. I gave you what you wanted. I gave you what you requested. No problems on it. And this is how you respond. And again, you give somebody an inch, they will take a mile, guys. I knew she was going to do this, by the way. Even though a small part of me hoped she wouldn't, I knew she was going to do this. So I'm going to make content out of it, toots. You wanted attention? You got it. And then this part is where it gets even more deranged, guys. She says, also, go F yourself one more time for good measure. You are so desperate for relevance, you'll sell your soul to any bidder, not even the highest. You're all the first people to screech about families, but mine has been doxxed for nearly a year, and your savior, who only became your savior so you could ride him like a remora in an attempt to increase your audience, has been linking to it for months while you pearl clutch over a legal document that we edited his address out after he freaked out and started wrongfully accusing me of doxing him, even though his lawyer never requested we do so. Odd if he was so concerned. I keep quiet because this is very serious, but please know I have endless receipts of his aggressive, defamatory, harassing, and deceptive behavior. You're pathetic, but at least you had the decency to remove an untrue tweet about my effing dox. Go to AA. Classy response. Classy response, right? From somebody that's completely normal and not unhinged. And then on top of that, she had the nerve to link to another tweet saying remove this one too. And that's where I put the foot down, guys. That's where I'm taking this stand. I said I knew the second I showed empathy, you'd try to weaponize it, which she absolutely did. I took the post down only because you asked politely and it involved your parents. That was me being decent, not admitting guilt, and not giving you control. This isn't about harm. It's about you trying to manage optics. Funny how you're not asking anyone else to take down Kiwi Farms mentions. That tells me everything. You're also flat out wrong about my content. I was doing this content shift years before the guy you're weirdly obsessed with. He was never part of the equation. And you calling anyone an alcoholic, bold move considering you're basically a walking wine spill. I'm not removing anything else. You want it gone, drop the lawsuit. Yep, you want it gone, drop the lawsuit against Smash JT. And yeah, I focused on Hogwarts Legacy and other stuff like that PlayStation PR marketing guy that was in cahoots with you a couple years ago, trying to cancel RGT85. People don't talk about that story enough. That was long before Smash JT was involved. Anyway, she has the classiest response right here. She told me, eat her ass, pussy. Interesting. And then she said, I did ask people to take them down. You're just effing stupid. And once again, knee-jerk reacting rather than doing due diligence. Your whole response to these DMs, girl, is a knee-jerk reaction. A knee-jerk reaction from you. Nobody takes you seriously. That's why you don't have a job in the industry anymore. I'm sorry. It's you. You've laid your bet in it. And again, she says, I look forward to my day in court. Maybe you'll be there. Oh, I was already planning on showing up if it goes this far because I can't miss the shit show. And then she calls me ugly ass bitch. I've never gotten drunk on live stream and pissed myself, so there's that. No, but you wrote an article saying that you were in a bar and you slept with a guy because he said Shakira was fat. So yeah, last night she was in my DMs. I complied. I showed empathy. And then the next morning she responds in the most unhinged way possible. Absolutely unprovoked meltdown in my DMs. Like, I wasn't even talking to her anymore. She just couldn't help herself. She took that inch I gave her and tried to take a mile out of it, accused me of all sorts of things, made personal jabs, and this part's hilarious, guys, called me an alcoholic, which is rich coming from somebody who practically sweats spritz. Like, she literally had, like, go to her page and look at how many times she has a spritz. She probably smells like boxed wine and bad decisions, honestly. And the best part, like I said, you don't see her melting down asking anyone else to take down posts mentioned in Kiwi Farms, just mine. Because this isn't about protecting her family, guys. This is about control. It's about silencing people selectively while pretending to be the victim. If it's not painting Smash JT as the bad guy, she doesn't want it up. Now, if you're somebody who's been following Alyssa because of the lawsuit that she filed against the Smash JT situation, with what's going on with their videos, maybe you thought she was standing up for something, right? Maybe you believe that she was acting in good faith, but this is how she operates behind the scenes, guys. This is how she acts. She DMs people privately to demand things. She weaponizes empathy when it suits her, and she flips on a dime when she doesn't get total control. And that's not how adults handle things. That's not how professionals act during a lawsuit. That's not how somebody that's supposedly traumatized engages with people that are trying to de-escalate a situation. I took down the post. I was trying to de-escalate it, and that's how she gets. I learned a lesson here, guys, and maybe it's one that some of you need to hear too. Stop giving these people the benefit of a doubt, because when somebody shows you who they are, you need to believe it. Okay, this is her. This is Alyssa Mercante. This is why you don't negotiate with people who want power, not peace, right? She doesn't want peace. She doesn't want people to get along. Without that struggle, without her being a victim, she doesn't have her book that she's writing. She doesn't have her Patreon. She doesn't have her articles on all the websites that she writes for. She made her own bed with Smash JT, and now she wants everybody else to lie in it with her, right? To lie with the fleas. So for those of you who think that she's still fighting the good fight, ask yourself, is this the kind of person who deserves your support, or are you just afraid of being her next target? I think a lot of you are afraid, right? Anyways, thanks for watching. Stay sharp. Don't get guilted into submission. Always remember, empathy is a two-way street. If somebody drives over you the second that you show it, they were never worth it to begin with. While she's throwing tantrums in the DM. So I'm done. Okay? No more deleting. No more being the bigger person. If you want anything else removed, Alyssa Mercante, drop the lawsuit.